Most of us are starting to lose our patience. We're becoming frustrated. We miss the way things were. We don't see an end. What appears to be a long, dark tunnel. We want our lives back. This social distancing, this staying in our homes. We're terribly inconvenienced, aren't we? No sitting down in a restaurant for a special occasion. No theaters. No large gatherings. No haircuts. I'm not sure all of us need that. No beauty salons. No routine medical or dental visits. No physically attending worship like here at Hillcrest. Life appears to be hard these days, doesn't it? But that tunnel really isn't that dark. Consider how our lives have changed in the past few weeks. Now, even more than ever, we're supporting and comforting each other. Yes, the methods are completely different. No personal visits or hugs. Phone conversations and personal notes mailed are doing a great job in replacing all that. And it's happening much more often today than it has in the past. The residents in the neighborhood are concerned and watching out for each other. When someone's making a journey to a grocery store or some other place of business to purchase something, it's become common to call around in the neighborhood to see who else wants something. We're discovering what is and what isn't important in our lives. Do we really need to dine out as often as we did? It's nice to purchase food every day, but is that really necessary? Perhaps, at times, our life is even more enjoyable if we just slow down a little bit. We're using our talents and skills in new ways to aid those around us. They're no longer being used just for our own enjoyment, our own self-centered reasons. We're sewing face masks, making donations of food and money to help those in need around us. Many have discovered new ways to use technology. It's available to promote family togetherness. Those various guesting rooms, such as Zoom and Blue Jeans, have become wonderful locations for holding family gatherings and other meetings. Even churches and their pastors have found ways to bring Christ's message of comfort and love to many through live streaming and YouTube presentations. The results are sometimes amazing. One small church near Duluth discovered that they had over 2,000 viewers on their first streaming service. Here at Hillcrest, we're reaching about 3 times the number that we had in pre-church closings at our services. That tunnel that we're in isn't really as dark as it appears to be. Now that tunnel is a challenging tunnel. A tunnel that's altered our foundations, those connections that we have with each other, and our environment. The structure of our lives has changed. Gone is that foundation that we had of physically connecting with those around us. Gone are the routines that brought us freedom from fear and peace and comfort. That brought us fear and caused each one of us to lose self-control of our lives. Fortunately, some of us are more well-equipped to handle these times than others. I'm grateful from our Norwegian heritage. Rolling with the punches, ignoring inconveniences, having unexpressed compassion and empathy for those around me. It's just part of a normal Scandinavian background and upbringing. Handling difficult experiences ingrained into the upbringing that many people were raised through a Norwegian background. Many people of Norwegian descent have a simple two-word comment that covers situations like we're going through today. Ufda. Some of you probably never heard that phrase. It's common here in the Midwest, but seldom heard outside of Minnesota. Basically, it's used to express compassion, empathy, or annoyance. It would be very proper to use it when you see someone slam a finger in a drawer, when you do something very stupid, or when the family cat brings in a dead gift. And so I say to these inconveniences that we're going through, Ufda. I'm annoyed. But when I look backwards in time to my own ancestors, what are we going through today pales in comparison to what they went through. I'm sure that if any of you look into your backgrounds far enough in your family history, you'll find someone that experienced entering into the unknown. My ancestors journeyed here from Norway and settled as farm families in South Dakota and the Sand Hills west of Fargo. Every day was a challenge to their existence. There were no supermarkets. There were very few markets. But regardless of their trials, their tribulations, they all had faith in what the future would bring. That there was a light at the end of that tunnel. And we need to have that same faith. But there are solutions. One accepted rule is that the solution to a problem is usually the simplest one. In the beginning was a Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and that life was the light of humankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness shall not overcome. Today, that tunnel has altered our lives temporarily and the way that we look at the world. Eventually, our lives will return to some state of normality. Our journey through this tunnel may not be the most comfortable. It may not end when some of us want it to. But it's just an annoyance that only requires the comment, "Ufda." And that's all that it is, an annoyance. We have hope. The hope that our Lord will, through his grace and love, bring us back to normal lives eventually. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Our Lord awaits us. Amen.